I never believed in those urban legends you hear online. You know, the ones creepypasta stories about haunted video games or cursed images. To me, they were just fun little campfire tales for the digital age. That all changed when I stumbled upon the Whispering Window. It started on a niche forum, one of those old-school message boards that looks like it hasn't been updated since 2005. The thread was titled "Do Want Look Through It?" Naturally, I clicked. The original post was short and cryptic. It described a website, just a string of random characters, that supposedly showed you a live feed of a single, old-fashioned window. The rules were simple. You could only access it between midnight and 3 a.m., and you must never, under any circumstances, see anyone look back at you through the window. The post was filled with comments ranging from skepticism to outright fear. Some users claimed they tried it and just saw a black screen. Others said they saw a dimly lit, empty room. But a terrified few, shared harrowing stories. They'd see a shadow move, a curtain twitch, or worst of all, a fleeting glimpse of a face in the glass. After that, weird things started happening in their own homes. Objects would move. They'd hear whispers when they were alone. One user just posted a single, final comment: "It saw me. It's here." Then their account went silent. My rational mind screamed hoax. It was probably just a pre-recorded video loop, designed to scare people. But my curiosity, that little thrill-seeking part of my brain, was buzzing. I copied the web address, set an alarm for 12:30 a.m., and tried to forget about it. That night the house was silent except for the hum of the refrigerator. The glow of my monitor felt like a spotlight in the darkness. My heart hammered against my ribs as I pasted the URL into my browser and hit enter. For a moment, nothing, just a loading icon spinning endlessly. I almost gave up, but then the page refreshed. There it was, a window. It was exactly as described, a large, multi-paned window set in what looked like a weathered stone wall. Through the glass, I could see a room bathed in a soft, eerie moonlight. It was sparsely furnished. A single wooden chair, a small table with a book on it, and a tattered rug on the floor. Everything was still. The scene had a strange, painterly quality, almost too perfect. I watched for what felt like an hour. Nothing happened. No movement, no shadows, no faces. I started to feel a bit foolish. I was losing sleep over a glorified screensaver. I leaned back in my chair, ready to close the tab, when I saw it. A flicker in the bottom right pane of the window. A corner of the rug lifted, just for a second, as if disturbed by a breeze. But there was no breeze. The room was sealed. I leaned closer to the screen, my breath fogging the corner of the display. My pulse quickened. Was I imagining it? I stared, unblinking, trying to burn the image into my memory. 10 minutes passed. 20. Still nothing. The stillness was almost more unnerving than the movement. It felt like the room was holding its breath, waiting. Then the book on the table slid. It didn't fall. It slid slowly and deliberately, a few inches towards the edge. My blood ran cold. This wasn't a loop. This was live. Something was in that room. I had the overwhelming urge to slam my laptop shut, to run out of the room and turn on every light in the house. But I was frozen, mesmerized by the quiet horror unfolding on my screen. I had to know more. I kept the window open in one tab and went back to the forum in another. I started digging through the old posts, looking for clues. One user mentioned something about the reflections. "The danger isn't what's in the room," the post read. "It's what the window shows of our world." I didn't understand. I clicked back to the live feed. I stared at the glass, trying to see a reflection. But the light inside the room was brighter than the darkness outside, making the panes mostly transparent. Still, if I squinted, I could just make out faint, distorted shapes reflected on the surface. They were blurry, indistinct. I saw the faint outline of the chair, the table, and something else. A dark shape, tall and thin, standing just behind the chair. It wasn't a reflection of anything in the room. It was a reflection of something standing behind me. I swear my heart stopped. I didn't dare turn around. My entire body locked up in sheer terror. I could feel it, a presence in my room. A cold spot had formed behind my chair, and the air grew heavy, thick with a sense of malevolence. I could hear a sound, a faint, dry whisper, like dead leaves skittering across pavement. It was coming from right behind my head. My eyes were glued to the screen, to that dark, shimmering reflection in the digital window. I watched, paralyzed, as the reflection of the figure began to move. It raised a long, thin arm. The reflection of its hand, with fingers that looked like twigs, reached out towards the reflection of my own head. I finally broke. I screamed and threw myself out of my chair, scrambling backwards until my back hit the wall. I fumbled for the light switch, my fingers trembling uncontrollably. The room flooded with light. I was alone. There was nothing there. The window on my laptop screen was black. The connection had been lost. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. Every shadow became a lurking figure, every creak of the house a footstep. I started hearing the whispers even during the day. Faint, but there. And things began to move. A cup sliding across the kitchen counter. A door creaking open on its own. Small things, just like the forum users described. I tried to go back to the website, but the link was dead. The forum thread had been deleted. It was like the whispering window had been erased from the internet, but it hadn't been erased from my life. It had followed me out. A week later, I was packing a bag, ready to go stay at a friend's place anywhere, but my own home. As I was about to leave, I glanced at my darkened bedroom window, and for a split second, I saw it. Reflected in the glass, standing in my empty room, was a tall, thin figure, its face a pale blur, and it was waving, a slow, deliberate wave. It wasn't a reflection of me. It was looking out from my window, into the night, waiting for someone else to look in. I still don't know what the whispering window is. A curse, a gateway. All I know is that I looked through it, and something looked back. And now, my own home has become its new frame. So if you ever find a strange link, late at night, with a warning not to look, please, for your own sake, listen. Close the browser. Turn on the lights. Because some windows are not meant to be opened. And once you've been seen, you can never truly be alone again.